coach here on YouTube. My name's Karen, and this is my husband Trevor.
Hi there.
And today we're going to be talking about not all customers are good customers. Sometimes you have to fire your customers.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I've heard that actually this week. So Jim Collins, he's an author of 6 books. He says you must maintain unwavering faith that you can and will prevail in the end. And regardless of the difficulties, and at the same time, have the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they might be.
Yeah, that's a mouthful, but it's so true.
Yeah.
So many great things.
Face facts.
Yeah,
exactly.
Face the facts.
So according to Forbes, 88% of people read reviews before buying. That should be like a huge sign for you. Forbes is a great kind of a business type of magazine.
Yeah.
And so they know what they're talking. So if you're a small business, you probably should pay attention to that number and get your Google reviews. Every business owner has to deal with a bad customer. The goal is to not let them monopolize your time on unscalable tasks or out of scope projects just to keep them.
That's right.
Wasted time.
So Karen, what are some questions we have?
So why is 168 the most important number in business?
168 is the number of hours we have in the week.
Do we all have those same hours?
We all have the same hours. Mm-hmm. Everybody from Warren Buffett down to us. We have the same amount of hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not Warren Buffett. But yeah, we all have the same amount of hours in a week. So if you are spending time on the wrong people, doing the wrong things, it's just going to burn you out.
Your
right?
ROI is very low.
Very low ROI. Working on things that you just shouldn't be doing. And that's, like we said in the topic, out of scope.
Yeah.
And just to try and keep that customer.
Yeah. Will entrepreneurs normally have marketable skills outside of their core services?
Typically, no.
I was kind of wondering where you're going to go with this one.
No, the reason we started in the particular business that we got into is because we have an interest, we have a skill set, and that is really what we want to be doing with our life and our time. So, we try and stay within that vein of interest. And that's really what our customers are asking us for. They hired us to be, their marketing agency and business coaching, so we can help them to grow their business. So we're not going to go and mow their grass. We're not going to do things that are just out of the wheelhouse of what we do. We're not going to do printing service. It's just not in our wheelhouse of what we're doing. And the same thing with you when you were hired, let's say, to do plumbing. It just doesn't make sense for you to start doing electrical service. It doesn't make sense for you to start, doing, cleaning gutters or something. It just isn't in your realm of scalability. Even though you might be able to find people to do it, it's going to be not as profitable because you don't understand that business or that industry in order to make it profitable.
Mm-hmm. Should you try to monetize skills that you can't train other people to help you with?
Monetize skills that you can't train other people to help you with. No. No, absolutely not. Because then you are the one who has to do that skill. If you're trying to do something that it's impossible to train somebody else to do for you.
You're not duplicatable.
Yeah, exactly. You can't scale that. You can't scale something if you're the only person who can do that in your business. It makes no sense unless you always want to be doing that. Which, if you never ever want to have a day off, then okay, go ahead. If you never want to take a vacation, you never want to spend time with your family and friends, you never want to have any fun in your life, then by all means, you should definitely do things that only you can do in your business.
You should almost be replaceable.
Yeah.
In a way, right?
Exactly. You should be able to walk away from your business. Like if you were abducted by aliens.
The alien test.
The 30-day alien abduction test. Then yeah, that's the things you should be doing. Scaling your business.
Okay, will you have to tell good customers no if their request is not your core service?
Yeah, you're going to have to say no to people who want you to do things that are outside of your scope and scale because it's not profitable for you. Even though you might be able to do it, it just makes no sense for you to do it. And you might have to let them down, you might have to let them go because you won't do that for them. But I've learned from experience, when we start saying yes to things that are out of our scope and out of our experience, it ends in sadness and failure.
And it's a time suck.
And it's a time suck, yeah.
Yeah. Should you be okay with labeling some customers as bad customers?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's pretty easy to identify them pretty quickly because they usually are very demanding. And not just in a sense that, you know, they want you to keep up with what you're doing. They are demanding with things that are outside of, you know, what your set expectations are, things that are out of your control. You know, for instance, if they're not doing their, you know, in our case, if they're not doing their, you know, weekly activities that they're supposed to be doing their action items, they're always late, they never, you know, pay on time, like those are bad customers, right? So yeah, you can definitely label people as bad customers. You don't say it to their face, but you know in your mind that if you had to let somebody go, find someone to replace that time slot, then you know you've got somebody.
So if you don't label those customers as bad customers, will it affect the growth of your company?
Yeah, absolutely, because you know there's so many other people out there who fit, you know, your ideal and likely buyers. And if you're always having to cater and go extra over and above, like outside of your scope, not just over and above as far as just over delivering, but I mean like, you know, spending extra amounts of time on a particular client because they're being super demanding or picky or whatnot, then you can't scale that. And if you have like a bunch of those people, if you're tolerating that in your business, then you are going to hate your life. You're going to hate your business. You're going to hate your customers, and you'll resent them. When you can have, you know, a bunch of customers who are just pleasures to deal with, pleasures to be around. They're great. You serve them, and they're happy with your service, and you know you can build a sustainable business off of that.
Do bad customers have common traits?
Yeah, I said some of them earlier. They're, you know, very demanding, very picky. They always have a crisis. They always, you know, have something, you know, urgent that you have to deal with right now. They, you know, they monopolize your time. They take longer than they should, you know, when they're on the phone or they're trying to deal with something. They are, you know, late in paying. They try and squeeze you for every dime. You know, they're just common traits that they have that, you know, you should be aware of, for sure.
So you're saying bad customers are always in a state of emergency?
Yeah, there's always something, you know, the sky is falling, you know, something's on fire. It's always, you know, an urgent call that you have to get in touch with them. And usually it's not. Usually it's not. It's usually something that is made up in their minds that it's an emergency that you need to deal with right away. It's just a typical thing. And some people are just like that, and you just have to be able to identify and know how to deal with that type of person, and just don't let them suck your time. And if they want to walk away and go be with somebody else, then by all means, let them go.
Will bad customers send aggressive emails and often be unavailable to discuss?
Of course, that's their MO. They get all angry and they get behind their typewriter and their, you know, typewriter. How old am I?
Keyboard warriors.
And they send you, you know, very aggressive, you know, email. Typewriter, yeah. I'm 1,000 years old. I had a pet brontosaurus as a kid. Just kidding. And yeah, then you want to discuss it with them, and then they won't talk to you face to face. It's just something to get you going, and then your mind is spinning. You're thinking of how you can deal with the situation, and it just really pulls away from what you're wanting to do with your ideal customers.
Will bad customers always be looking for ways to not pay you or pay you less?
Yeah, this is one of their telltale traits. I'm not going to pay you because you're doing a bad job for me. Or they'll try and find a way to, you know, hold back or lower their rate because they're just not happy with your service. And it's just part of their MO. So that's how you can tell if you've got a bad customer. Good customers, they won't do that.
This is a good question. This is the last one. Is it okay to put up with bad customers while you're looking for better ones?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it just keep them on board and keep serving them, helping them out. And then as you get better and better customers on board and you're able to replace that revenue, that income stream, then it's not so painful when you have to tell them, you know, look, this is what we're hired to do. This is the job we're doing for you. This is how we're delivering for you. And it seems that we're unable to satisfy your needs, they seem to be out of our scope of work and what we are hired to do, and by all means, here's another company that we found that you can go to, and they may be able to help you better than we can. And just let them go. Be gone. Go with God.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today here on YouTube. You're the Edmonton Business Coach, Inspired Method Marketing and Business Coaching.
Yes.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys on the next video.